Welcome to Lucio Reads Kingdom Hearts Character Files. The first one I'll be reading is Sora's story, First Journey. So much to do, so little time. Take your time, don't be afraid. The door is still shut. And when I woke up from my dream, blue sky, blue sea, white beach. This was Destiny Islands, the place we called home. After letting out a big yawn and sitting up, I laid back down, was up with the dream. Just as I was dozing off again, Kai's face appeared in my field of vision. Ugh! Startled, I got up and turned to face her. Give me a break, Kyrie. Zora, you lazy bum. I knew that I'd find you snoozing down here. No, this huge black thing swallowed me up. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't. I frantically tried to explain. I wasn't sure if I could do a good job of explaining what happened in that dream, but it's not like I was slacking off. Or maybe I was slacking off because I was asleep. Are you still dreaming? It wasn't a dream. Or was it? I don't know. What was that place? So bizarre. Yeah, sure. Kyrie sounded like she didn't believe me as she began to walk away. Say, Kyrie, what was your hometown like? You know, where you grew up? I've told you before. I don't remember. Back then, the only other place I knew of besides Destiny Islands was the town where Kyrie had lived as a kid. Although she told me that the place existed, she didn't remember it at all. Nothing at all? Nothing. Still sitting on the sand, I looked up at Kyrie. You ever want to go back? Well, I'm happy here. Kyrie gazed out to the sea with a strange look on her face. She didn't look lonely or sad or happy, but I could tell she was feeling something. She often had that expression. But you know, I wouldn't mind going to see it. I'd like to see it too. Kyrie reflected on that, and I responded. Along with any other words out there, I want to see all of them. That was my number one wish back then. I wanted to see the town where Kyrie was born. I wanted to see places other than Destiny Islands. So what are we waiting for? Hey, aren't you guys forgetting about me? Just as Kyrie spoke, we heard Riku's voice. Riku was carrying a log under his arm. So I guess I'm the only one working on the raft. Riku tossed the log at me and flustered. I caught it. Seeing this, Kyrie laughed. And you're just as lazy as he is. So you noticed. Kyrie shrugged with a giggle and then spread her arms wide. Okay, we'll finish it together. I'll race ya. Huh? What? Are you kidding? Ready? Go! Even though Riku was sitting next to me, Kyrie insisted. Riku and I looked at each other, stood up and nearly the same time and started running. We dashed along the beach all the way to the cove. That evening, Kyrie and I were sitting next to each other on the property on the small islands across the bridge. Nearby, Riku leaned against a tree. The sun was sinking towards the horizon. So, Kyrie's home is out there somewhere, right? I asked. Riku was the one who answered. Could be. We'll never know by staying here. He said this without taking his eyes off the horizon. I then asked him a question because I didn't have a clue of the answer. But how far could a raft take us? Who knows? If we have to, we'll think of something else. Although Riku was only a year older than me, he and I were completely different. So suppose you get to another world. This time it was Kylie who asked Riku a question. She continued, What would you do there? Well, I haven't really thought about it. Just, I've always wondered why we're here on this island. If there are any other worlds out there, why did we end up on this one? The sound of the waves accompanied Riku's voice. And suppose there are other worlds. He spoke slowly, and seemed as though he was considering his choice words. And ours is just a little piece of something much greater. So we could have just as easily ended up somewhere else, right? I don't know. After hearing all that, I didn't understand at all. I rolled onto my back on the tree. Exactly. Riku slowly started walking. That's why we need to go out there and find out. Just sitting here won't change a thing. It's the same old stuff, so let's go. Kairi looked up at the sky, still on my back. I gazed at the ocean. Riku was right. The sunset was pretty every day. Basically never changed. Sometimes we'd have stormy nights. But aside from that, the sky and the sea would always be the same. That's why I wanted to see a different world. You've been thinking a lot, haven't you? Kairi said softly. Thanks to you. Riku turned to face her. If you hadn't come here, I probably would have never thought of any of this. Kairi, thanks. You're welcome. Kairi laughed. I watched the two of them, and the setting sun shone on us like it always did. Yes, everything was the same as it had ever been. Our journey started from that place. We wanted to go somewhere, anywhere that wasn't there, and soon we would depart the islands. But I had the feeling we would return there at the end of our travels. Thus, our journey began. Ah, Tara, why are you in front of me? But hey, it would be the first one. The first chapter. Okay, I'm fine, Tara. You're getting on my lap here. Such a little guy. I know it's not too polished. So, this is more of a test. And I'll see if I continue reading the character files in the future. Like, I like reading a lot, and it definitely is fun to read the character files, and there are some chapters I definitely want to read in the future. But for now, we'll have to see. Thank you for being here and listening to me read Sora's story. May your heart be your guiding key.